This is the homework helper for Chapter 2, Section 7, the workbook questions. So in this section, what we're studying is greatest common factor, and the first set of questions, 1 to 21, asks you to find the greatest common factor. Now you saw in class today different ways to find the greatest common factor. One of the most common is to list the factors of the number. So what we have in number 1, where we're asked to find the greatest common factor of 12 and 15, is we're actually going to list the factors of 12 and 15. Remember, factors are two numbers that multiply together to make a given number. So like for 12, you'd have 1 and 12, because 1 times 12 is 12. And you'd have 2 and 6, because 2 times 6 is 12. And 3 and 4, because 3 times 4 is 12. With 15, you would have 1 and 15, because 1 times 15 is 15, and 3 and 5, because 3 times 5 is 15. And you're simply looking for the largest number that's on both lists, hence the G part, the greatest part, and the biggest number that's on both lists is a 3. So the greatest common factor of 12 and 15 is 3. Now remember, I did also show you a shortcut to this in class that might make your life a little bit better. I'll go back and show you that here. What we would do is the exact same thing, except we would only list the factors of one number. So I would do perhaps just the 12 or just the 15, whichever you fancy. I'm probably generally going to do the smallest number because it would tend to usually, not always, but usually have the smallest list of factors, but it doesn't really matter either way. So here are those same factors of 12 that I just listed. And then what you would do is you would start dividing here. All right, dividing out of the other number until you find a number that works. Obviously what you want to do is start from the big end because it's called greatest common factor. So the biggest number that works is going to be the answer. If you start on this end, you're going to have to go through the whole list to find the biggest one, which takes more time. So I would say 12, 15 divided by 12. Well, that's not an integer, so that doesn't work. 15 divided by 12 is 1 point something. Who cares? 15 and 6. 15 divided by 6 does not give me an integer. That's going to be 2 point something. Again, who cares? It's not our answer. 15 and 4. Well, 15 divided by 4 is not going to give me an integer. It's close to 4, a little less, but not my answer. But 3 works. 15 divided by 3 is the first time we see a result that works. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 5 is an integer. In case you've forgotten the word integer, integer is a number that would show up on the number line, one of the counting numbers or their opposites and 0. And since that's the first one that works on the big side, that's the answer. Now they also showed us a technique with factor trees that I'd like to show you here in question number 11. So in question number 11, we're finding the greatest common factor of 16, 40, and 88. So we can do some quick factor trees here. 16 breaks down as 4 and 4, and 4 is going to break down as 2 and 2. So that's going to factor tree out as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 40 is going to break down as 8 and 5. 8 is going to break down as 4 and 2. 4 is going to break down as 2 and 2. Again, this is old news because we just did this. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. And then you've got 88, which is 8 and 11. And 8 is going to break down again as 4 and 2, just as it did here. And 4 is going to break down as 2 and 2. So you've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 11.